What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle. I raced the 45-46 at King of the Hammers in the Everyman Challenge. And this year, what we want to do on race day is bring you the entire race from a couple of cameras that we've got on the car live right alongside the KOH live stream via our own YouTube channel that we've got started here. To do a live stream, I need 100 subscribers. The last couple of years, more and more drivers have started putting the cameras on the car, putting a Starlink on the car, and pushing out a feed to show people what it's like inside the car, on and around the car. And we'd like to do the same this year. I've seen a lot of people essentially put this ask out on all the social medias 2 or 3 nights before the race because they needed to get their subscribers up. I'm trying to do that early this year. Get the subscribers in, have everything ready, tested, and ready to go by race day. In exchange, what I'm going to do between now and then is show you a lot of behind the scenes stuff of what it takes to go from today, approximately 100 days from KOH, for a very small outfit team to go from today, working on the car, everything else involved that's not just working on the car, not necessarily day to day, but definitely way more in depth than what we've done in the past. Just kind of blasting some stuff out on Instagram, pictures and shorts and all of that, to get through KOH, what it takes as far as car prep, upgrades, maintenance, fixes from the last time we had it out and broke it, all the way to, you tell me how interesting these things are going to be to you and I'll show it to you. I've got a bunch of build out stuff that I need to do on the trailer that's going to take all the race car, all the gear and everything there. I've got some maintenance to do on the tow rig. I've got a handful of non-KOH related projects because I've still got to run the shop and I've still got to make enough money to make all of this possible. The week or so before leaving, depending on where things are at, we kind of 100% focus on the car, but we can't do that for 100 days in advance. There are still a lot of things day to day that have to be attended to, pay the bills, just like everybody. My day-to-day job is not being a race car builder or driver. I got a couple of clips that I'll patch in here. You can see we were working on the Xterra in here just this past week. Right behind the camera, I've got a Power Wagon with a whole bunch of upgrades and a whole bunch of products that we're working on making and bringing to market. I've got a 60 Series Land Cruiser over there that's getting LS swapped. And a whole bunch more day-to-day fabrication build. Whatever I can show you that you think is interesting, let me know and I'll show you what happens from now until then. One of my big things is going to be trying to be more organized going out there this year. The last couple of years, we've just kind of shoveled everything into the trailer at the very last minute. Makes it very difficult to find, makes the day-to-day life out there a lot more difficult than it needs to be. I got plans to build a smudge pot that we haven't had. I'll show you whatever is interesting to you. We've got a ton going on. I've got a ton of work to do on this, even though it's built enough to have used last year and run 100 to 110 miles last year. There's a lot of upgrades for this, maintenance, things that busted and got trail fixed. Thanks again, Trailmater. Can't say thank you enough for that. Upgrades to almost every system. We're going to start ripping this thing apart pretty much right now. We're going to touch almost every system. I'm not building a new engine or a new trans, but there's maintenance and upgrades for both of those things and just about everything else on the car. So there's a lot to do. I'll show you as much as I can, as much as you think is interesting, and then bring you in and on car cameras, both pre-running and on race day. You hit that like and subscribe button, invite some friends, tell me what you think is interesting and what you want to see more of and less of, and we will bring you as much interesting content as we can from now to then and show you as much of the race as we can. And if these things are interesting to you beyond that, I've got tons of work and tons of projects beyond KOH next year. Depending on how things go with the car, how much we beat it up, what needs to be fixed, I would like to run more races than just KOH next year. That's going to depend on budget and time, how much we break this at KOH, but I can bring all of that to you. You just hit the subscribe button, follow along, and I'll show you everything we're doing. There's much more work to do than just turn some wrenches on the car or put a tube in, do some welding. And a lot of people that I talk to about KOH and coming out and helping, they don't really have any idea what all it takes to get to KOH. And there's a lot more than just the car. So if you follow along the channel the next few months, I'll show you everything that I have to put in and go through to get there. You'll get to see a few more upgrades on this probably. I've got some thoughts on where this is going. We're going to do a lot of cutting, welding, hammering. We're not just doing bolt-on off-roady stuff. Developing some products that I'm also going to try to bring to market for the Power Wagon. Depending on how all of these projects go and how things go with the race car, there's an LS swap that needs to be done in a 60 Series Land Cruiser over there. I've got a Toyota 4Runner that needs a frame swap. We got to get rid of the rusty Midwest junk. We're going to do airbags on the trailer. I will show you as much of that as is interesting between now and KOH, so that you can get a little better idea of what it takes from racers' perspective, besides just build a car and show up on race day and be a great mechanic or fabricator, like seems to be the consensus amongst people that I talk to about, what I might need as far as help. Because we could take a bunch of people out there to help us, and most of them don't need to know how to weld, or fabricate, or be great mechanics. There's a lot of things starting now that I could use help with, that people have no idea even happens or goes on with getting to the race and getting through the race. So I'm going to show probably a lot more than most people show as far as KOH prep, because most people are just showing you, maintenance and build out of the car, which is fine, which is cool. It takes a certain nerd to really enjoy that content. I am that certain nerd. I watch a lot of other people's content, building cars and prep and maintenance in the cars, because I like to see how other people are doing things, get ideas of how I can do things better. But I'm going to try to show you kind of a high level overview of everything it's going to take me to get there from now to then. If you will hit the button, subscribe, follow along, drop a like, comment, share with some friends if you think it's interesting, and come see what it takes.